Good morning, my kittens. I hope you're doing well. So let's see what tomorrow brings. We have Eight of Swords, we have Five of Wands, and we have the Fool reversed. So clearly, this could be a day of feeling stuck, right? Which kind of like we did have some tension that we're experiencing already. It's a sense of that we are stuck in a situation where we really have to realize we are free to kind of like remove that and unstuck ourselves. And this really indicates that we are trapped by our own thoughts and perspectives, right? So the woman in this card is blindfolded and bound, and she maybe thinks that she has no way out. But if she removes this blindfold, as she is doing in this card, she might kind of like see a difficult situation from a completely different angle, right? Sometimes like people present this kind of card as hopeless, as kind of like there are no choices available. And look at what the card says here: the illusion of entrapment, a lack of self-confidence that makes you feel helpless, being afraid to take action and take responsibility for your life now, right? And then we see this like 501. So like two of them come to 13. It's clearly telling us that we need to put a stop to something, that we are suffering in a situation and that we are the only person who is actually responsible for it. That's a food for thought, because sometimes we find a situation, we're blaming other people for putting us there without realization, hey, you know what? I have choices. I don't really have to do it. So I'm going to be really short and sweet today because there is literally much to really muse about other than really what kind of like needs to be done. This is a dominant card, which really talks about that we might be acting in a total disregard of consequences, right? So we are a little bit reckless, and hence we are that fool. And yes, the fool is about living in the moment, but we are really also not planning ahead. One is not exclusive of the other. So being reckless and wanting to break free of the routine, but doing it in a way that is completely disregarding others. So this is like God Uranus, because this represents Uranus, and Uranus is like always spinning off the side in a different direction. So it's completely going against the grain, right? So this, you need to understand that maybe you feel that you are being taken advantage of, or that you are understanding the consequences of your decision, but at the same time, if you're offered an opportunity that maybe seems to be too good to be true, then probably is. So don't get hooked, because that's why we had the devil yesterday, to kind of like warn us a little bit about, the path we really need to take, right? If, for example, this describes the work situation, there's like something happening where we are completely out of our own depth, right? And we kind of like maybe have no clue what we are doing. It's a complete confusion. So maybe we feel lack of competency in that respect, and we don't want to look like a fool, to kind of like summarize this. So guess what? Uh, roll up your sleeves, go on the internet and learn the subject matter, because you actually, this tells me you want to be respected for your experience, and that you don't want to start at square one again. It just kind of feels that you're starting something anew. In the relationships, the Fool reverse can indicate that nature of relationship is highly kind of changeable and uncertain, and maybe somebody's being too spontaneous and doing kind of like crappy thing. That would be like somebody asking for threesome, where you kind of like think that's going to kind of like cut the bond on so many levels. Then you say yes in kind of like fear not to kind of like lose somebody, or being overly reckless, and then you have to deal with the fallout later. So just keep this in mind, because this is very important, that there's like a short term and long term. So in the short term, it looks like it's going to be lots of debate, lots of different opinions, almost like nobody's going to agree with you, and going to feel either against the wall or nobody's on your side. But you know what? Just cautious. Do the long-term planning and continue cautiously. I love you guys. I'll talk to you tomorrow, my kittens.